Pinnacle Energy sucks. And it sucks a lot. It slows you down. It feels like you're not being rewarded anymore when you don't have Pinnacle Energy inside of Destiny Rising. Or does it? I want to talk about two different situations with when it comes to Pinnacle Energy. A lot of people are very frustrated by this. And I'm not trying to be all inclusive and say everyone in the world, but a lot of people are frustrated with Pinnacle Energy. It's a gacha game. It's new to the Destiny realm in terms of it being a gacha game. But let's talk about either how you should look at Pinnacle Energy differently, or maybe even if NetEase should remove Pinnacle Energy. Let's talk about it right now. So, first things first, if you're not aware, Pinnacle Energy is a massive part of the game. It's how you get more, it's how you do things, right? So you get 120 every single day. It allows you to stack up to 3 days worth of Pinnacle Energy. And then you go to your activities, and that's how you utilize that Pinnacle Energy. You can do different adventures. You can do, your Realm of the Nine, and you do Singularity Chaos and grind for your exotic artifacts, all these different things, and it all costs Pinnacle Energy. And yes, there are benefits of doing it without it, or at least there is a chance of getting Pinnacle Energy or good rewards without Pinnacle Energy, but it does come at a pretty steep cost. So you're losing 66% of your chance here by not using Pinnacle Energy. Is there still a decent chance for 3% for an exotic artifact? Yeah, it's not bad. In fact, in compared to other games, like it's somewhat decent. But it doesn't feel good when you run out of Pinnacle Energy after doing something like 2 or 3 times. Because then there's things that you're going to want to do in the game that you want to do on a weekly basis that if you don't, it's going to feel really, really bad. So your weekly reward for, like, let's say running your legendary campaign missions, you get a substantial amount of better rewards than you do with your Pinnacle Energy. So you only get 4 of these exotic weapon infusions and 2 of the contextual data sets, whereas you get 10 and 10. It's over a 50% increase. Like it's quite noticeably a much better chance. And you get a 4% chance at getting one of these bad boys, Superpose Photon, which is going to be how you refine or upgrade your exotic weapons. Another exotic resource you're going to want to use. So you're going to want to use that 60 Pinnacle every single week just for doing your weekly rewards for your legendary gear, right? All right, well, that's 60 of it. Now you get 120 a day. But then you also are going to want to do things like that's not it. You do want to do this too, but you don't have to use it for that. If we go to the Gauntlet Ops and go to Gauntlet Onslaught, well, if you use 3 times, which is again another 60 energy, you get a 15% chance at getting an exotic weapon from the raids if you do it. And if you're not using one of your 3 weekly rewards, then you only get a 5% chance. So again, 66.66% chance is being lost. You're losing 66% of the value of your Pinnacle Energy if it's not in those top 3. And then if you're only using basic rewards, it's a 1% chance. Damn. So you can see that there's certain things that you want to use Pinnacle Energy for on a weekly basis. Not only just do you want to use it, but you almost have to use it in that weekly basis. Now, again, that's 120 energy so a whole day's worth of energy you're going to want to have to use between legendary campaign and your weekly rewards for the raids, right? Because you're going to want a lot of exotics. There's no doubt about it. No matter who you're building or what exotic you're farming for, you're going to need a lot of them in order to max out and get those really juicy amount of upgrades that give you literally 1,000 power. So you're going to want them. So that kind of stinks, right? So there's a lot of things that require your Pinnacle Energy. Now, there's 2 ways to look at Pinnacle Energy, like I said. You can look at it like it's the worst thing in the world and they should just remove it, right? And they could. Don't get me wrong. They literally could just remove it and then just give you a higher reward for doing an activity. Or if you do use Pinnacle, well, no, if it's gone, it's gone. So you could just maybe nerf the overall rewards and there's just a chance at doing everything. So it makes it more of a grind where you have to spend hours and hours and hours of playing, which is punishing, believe it or not, to the casual player. But it does reward the hardcore grinders because then they're not capped in their ability of grinding for something. Or, hear me out, you adjust the rewards for Pinnacle Energy. So increase, and they've already started doing this, you increase the base rewards of items. So again, going back to your, let's look at the raid, for example. Let's make the basic rewards, let me move my screen, bottom right. So let's make the basic rewards better. So instead of a 1%, make it 5%. And then make it so if you use Pinnacle Energy, you get the 15%, right? So like just remove the weekly cap and then just condense everything down. So that way it's still a decent thing to do if you want to just keep playing the game. But if you do use Pinnacle Energy on it, you do get a substantial increase. And again, we've seen them increase this more specifically in Singularity Chaos, right? So they did make it better. They've already started doing this. This was, I think, a 1% chance. So it went up to 3%. So it's a pretty noticeable jump in percent, even though it's only 3% out of 100. You know, it's not a guarantee, but it is a pretty big jump from what it was. So again, there's ways you can do it. But then with this, though, the one thing they did, though, is that there's a how do I put this? The random attributes you're going to get and the buff you're going to get for it, like there's a percent chance of like a window it could be in. There's a higher percent chance of it being bad, requiring more upgrade materials if you obtain it from a basic reward compared to a pinnacle reward. So inadvertently, even though you're not using Pinnacle Energy, you're going to be using other items like this, artificial essences, which you do have to obtain by using Pinnacle Energy to basically upgrade the thing you got from not using Pinnacle Energy. So it can be counterproductive. So I just want to put it sort of in comparison for you guys. I'm not saying Pinnacle Energy is bad. I just think it should be a deluxe resource that helps make things better. But the basic rewards are good enough that you want to keep playing the game. And that's where we're at. That's where I think is where Destiny Rising is going. You know, we do have updates every Thursday, it looks like. And almost every Thursday, they have increased the basic rewards in some capacity. So I think that's what they're going to be doing. So don't jump on to the fact that just Pinnacle Energy sucks. I think they're trying to find a way to make it work in a Destiny universe. Again, a lot of the people playing Destiny Rising came from Destiny 2 or just Destiny in general. There's actually not a ton of people that came from a non-Destiny game like myself. I actually came from not playing Destiny. I did play Destiny 2, don't get me wrong. I played Destiny 1 as well, but I played more Destiny 2 than Destiny 1. But I haven't played Destiny 2 in a long, long time. So when I saw this come out on mobile, I've been covering mobile games for a long time on YouTube. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to jump back into the Destiny field. And I fell in love with it. In fact, look, I made a whole new YouTube channel just for this game. And I upload on this a lot. So you would probably be surprised that this isn't my main channel at this point. But again, I think that they're trying to make it work. I think, in my opinion, their approach is going to be increasing the basic rewards, making that worth your time. And then you just get better stuff by using your Pinnacle Energy. And I think that's okay. Again, it rewards you for having that like special resource. So that way the casual player who can't maybe grind every single day, even though it doesn't take a long time to use your Pinnacle Energy, it allows them to get sort of keep up-ish. But then somebody who wants to grind, you can grind and get a chance. If you would do 100 of those, there's a chance you're going to get whatever resource you're trying to farm for. That's the way I think they're going with it. So I don't know if we have a Pinnacle Energy problem or it's just not perfected yet. And that's where I'm leaning into. I'm trying to be optimistic about it. I'm just trying to shed some light on it. And because I think a lot of people, I can see it in my comments all the time, that Pinnacle Energy sucks. It's ruining the game. It's killing the game, blah, 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 blah. It does suck. It could be, but is it because it's not rewarding enough or the basic rewards aren't rewarding enough? And I think that's, like I said, over the last 2 weeks of updates, they've been changing it. So let's see. Let's give them some time. Let them cook. They're cooking on everything else, guys. So let's just see how this plays out for us. I don't know. I personally don't think we have a Pinnacle Energy problem. I think we have a basic reward problem. But let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. And if you missed my video where I talked about how to get God Roll exotic mods and what they look like in Destiny Rising, because I would bet, I mentioned in the video, I bet a lot of you aren't even paying attention to this. So watch this video right now to make sure your exotic mods for your guns don't suck. Watch it right now.